learning from my mistakes. Time management. Take one. You're gonna have to excuse my hair right now. It's currently Halloween today, and I have wig head. Hi, my name is Kyle, and I run a YouTube channel called Hard Mode Activated, which is primarily focused around video games, but sometimes I like to do things a little bit differently. So with time management, I've gone through and kind of compiled a list of things that I've run into when trying to start my YouTube channel for the very first time. If you haven't seen my previous videos, this is a series that's supposed to help people who are wanting to grow in Let's Plays on YouTube or Twitch. One of the first things that I ran into as an issue was time management. I work around 25 days out of a month, constantly. When I first started out YouTube, when I looked up YouTube videos on how to grow, one of the key things that everyone was saying is just keep making videos, stick to a schedule, and you're bound to get success. Well, that's not true. I've run into several YouTube channels that seem to have, hundreds of videos, but that doesn't mean that they're going to find success. Just because it works for some people doesn't mean it's going to work for all. So the number one thing that I ran into in terms of time management was I was getting myself burned out very, very early. I was recording for at least 2 hours per day and then editing that footage to, several episodes of a series. With recording for about 2 hours a day for either 20 to 30 minute videos, that means I was either pumping out 20 to 30 videos a week starting out. That means I didn't know how to edit. I didn't know how to, be entertaining enough. Overall, I was having to learn while hitting the ground running. And that led to a lot of issues going down the line. With trying to edit all of the footage I had, trying to make thumbnails. When I first started out, I had these two separate lights and they each needed their own batteries because they were not plugins. So gradually throughout the recording sessions of these 2 hours, the lights would start to dim very gradually to the point where it almost felt like I didn't have any light at all. Then my camera would also have a battery inside of it, so I never knew how long it would last before my camera would shut off on me mid-recording. So I had to make sure that the batteries for both of my lights were charging overnight, as well as my camera. And that wasn't the only issue I ran into. When I was recording stuff, sometimes I would forget to even hit the record button, whether it be on my camera, on my audio recording software, on my capture device. All of these things could have been easily avoided too if I made a checklist. So one of my first things I would recommend is make a checklist. It takes 5-10 minutes of things that you need to get done. Once all those things are done, you can then begin your video. So in terms of time management, know your limits for how much you can do per day, as well as make a checklist for what you need to have available to you before you can start recording. Another thing that can be a big hassle in terms of time management is that you need to work your schedule around everyone else that you live with. If you live by yourself, that's great, but not everyone has that option. Some people have parents, neighbors, roommates, and some of those things are, they can get in the way of your recording schedule. For instance, if I decided to record late at night, if I lived with my parents, I'd probably have to keep it down. However, I have roommates, which means I need to schedule my time around them. If you need to use an area of the house, make sure that you let everyone know at least. Maybe you can kind of work around their schedule or see if it's possible for you to use a certain area so it doesn't hinder them. Also, if they do have to work the late shift, maybe don't record that day. Maybe just take that time to improve your skill or just hang out with friends. It's always important to know what your limits are and don't try to push them, because if you push your limits, you're also going to be probably pushing others. One last thing I want to touch upon is that before I started my YouTube channel, I actually started out on Twitch first. A friend and I were playing Super Mario Maker, and we were trying to just go back and forth in terms of communication, as well as handing the controller off back and forth. Now, Twitch is easy to use in terms of doing long play sessions and communicating with the people that do pop into your chat, but YouTube is a whole different story. For YouTube, you have to be consistent with your entertainment. Otherwise, you could lose people. YouTube is kind of like having a moth and a light. The moth is going to keep going towards the brightest light, and if there's a light that's too dim, it's not going to want to stay there. What I'm trying to say is that your audience wants to be entertained. If they're not entertained, they're going to leave. They're going to find something else that they find entertaining. It's easy to get discouraged on YouTube because you can put so much effort into your videos. But since your audience isn't wanting to stick around, your analytics are going to show that they only popped in for a couple seconds and they're going to leave. Just think about it this way. You're not going to be the best YouTuber the instant you get started. It takes time. And that's what this series is also going to show you. That throughout this time period that I've been doing it, even I don't have success. I don't have a lot of subscribers. But at least I can show you what I've seen from others that obviously did not work and what did work for some. Because if you look at a video that's supposed to help you grow as a YouTuber and it doesn't, and then you feel like you're doing something wrong or you're doing everything right and it's not working for you, then then whose fault is it? Is it their fault because the advice they're giving you isn't working? Is it YouTube's fault because of the algorithms? Is it, it's hard to identify exactly what it is to help you succeed, but don't get discouraged. Try to stay as positive as possible. Manage your time. I mean, you see all these YouTubers getting burned out because they're trying so hard to keep people engaged and entertained on YouTube, but you're starting out. You shouldn't be having those problems. I think if you can manage yourself and keep a positive attitude, you should be able to keep making videos and feel satisfied. If you found this video to be helpful at all, please like it, comment if you think I should add any more into the series, share with someone that you feel like needs to hear that maybe little ways to improve is just to make a checklist to kind of think, what do I need to do to improve my channel, and then go from there. And I'll make more videos in the series to help keep the conversation going and help any way I can. So have a wonderful day. Bye bye. And time management, take 1.